Hi, everyone, and welcome to the November 23rd, 2021 special select board meeting. This is Select Board Chair Mark Strange. I will be confirming that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Mark Gold.
Present here.
Josh Levine.
Here.
Tom Lacusa.
Here.
And is Steve Morantz on?
Yes, he just joined.
Okay, hey, Steve. Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Lynn Simmons.
Here.
Mike Barbieri.
Here.
Thank you. This open meeting of Long Meadow Select Board is being conducted remotely, consistent with Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021. This meeting is convening by Zoom webinar as posted on the agenda and town's website, identifying how the public may join. There is no chat or Q&A function. All the materials for this meeting are available on the agenda posted on longmeadow.org. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless I note otherwise. Each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by roll call vote. This meeting will feature, may or may not feature resident comment. For resident comment, using the Zoom webinar format, members of the public are attendees. If a member of the public would like to speak during resident comment, please use the raise hand icon at the bottom of the screen. The meeting moderator will promote you to panelist, unmute you, and give you permission to speak. If you join the webinar by phone, dial 9 to raise your hand and star 9 to raise your hand and star 6 to mute or unmute. Residents who wish to speak will identify their names and addresses only. Each individual is afforded 3 minutes for comments. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that some attendees are participating by video conference. Please remember to mute your phone or computer when you're not speaking. Before we get started with our scheduled agenda today, we wanted to send our collective thoughts and prayers to the business owners and employees and their families who were impacted by this morning's fire at the Maple Road Shopping Plaza. Those businesses are staples of our small business community, particularly for those of us who live on the south end of town. It's a really sad day for all of us. Special thank you to Chief Dearborn and to Lynn and the Long Meadow Fire Department and all the first responders for their service. Lynn is made it today, so she may have an update for us as we move forward. But before we get to that, wasn't sure if any other select board members wanted to make a comment. Lynn, did you want to provide just a quick update?
Sure, happy to. Yes, I just came back from the adult center. That was a staging area that we had all the businesses and the property owner report to this morning so that we could meet with them, gather information, and provide resources to them. We had 6 businesses impacted, representing approximately 74 employees. NEMA was on site there at the adult center this morning and provided some information, as well as the Salvation Army, who assists more individually and less business-based assistance. I've been in touch with the governor's office, and NEMA's also been in touch with the governor's office and the lieutenant governor, who have expressed their support and will provide any assistance possible to expedite some of the process for the businesses and those seeking unemployment insurance or unemployment assistance. So we are working on this. The premise will be secured by the end of today. Fencing will be installed. The 2 businesses at the end of the plaza that are somewhat intact, those business owners will be allowed to access their property at some point this week to gather what they can out of there. The fire department will be in touch with them on that. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. Certainly this is only about 6 hours old at this point, but definitely a tragic loss for the community and certainly the employees that work in those shops.
Anybody have any questions for Lynn? Josh.
Lynn, were there a lot of other surrounding towns involved in the fire, putting out the fire today?
Yeah, we had 4 involved. We had, in addition to Long Meadow, we had Agawam, East Long Meadow, Shaker Pines, and North Thompsonville from Connecticut.
I just want to put out a thank you to those towns for helping us out. We appreciate it.
Here. Any other questions for Lynn? So, as the select board, we can only do so much with respect to supporting, private businesses, but certainly we'd look to do whatever we can to support them as they move forward in their reconstruction process. Okay, moving on to today's agenda. The first order of business is the cable license agreement, which I think we've all received, along with a memo from Attorney Epstein. So I don't know if anybody had questions, comments on the agreement, or if we're looking for a motion. Yeah, Mark, go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve the cable 10-year license renewal for Comcast dated November 15th, 2021, with the addition to Exhibit 2 of our DPW and new adult center addresses.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Mike, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Strange,
Yes.
Mr. Morantz,
Yes.
Mr. Levine,
Yes.
Mr. Gold,
Yes.
Mr. Lacusa,
Yes.
Perfect, thank you. And then bouncing down to the operating agreement between the town and LCTV.
Happy to speak to that, Mark, if you'd like.
Sure, please.
Sure. So we do not currently have an operating agreement between the town of Longmeadow and Longmeadow Community TV as the Access Corp. It is a good idea to have one. I've talked with Attorney Epstein on that. We'll work on getting a draft together and then bring that forward to you. Also share it with the LCTV board so they can take a look at it. It would spell out just exactly that, how the town and LCTV operate together. The town gives the Comcast funds to LCTV to operate, and we should spell out what exactly that entails. There are examples from other communities. Most communities that do the same situation have an operating agreement so that both parties know what to expect. So at an upcoming meeting, I will bring that to you. One other thing that will also need to be adjusted is the makeup of the Cable Advisory Committee should not, and I guess I should emphasize, should not be the same as the LCTV Board of Directors. They need to be different individuals. And that is also something that I will bring to you at an upcoming meeting as well. The Cable Advisory Committee itself, now that the new license is in effect, the bulk of their business has now been handled for the next few years. However, if they stay intact and meeting, they can certainly continue to be our liaison to Comcast to work out any sort of resident or user issues that may pop up. I know they've been helpful in that regard over the years. So in the next few meetings, I will bring forward to you an operating agreement, a draft one, and then we can start a discussion about makeup of the Cable Advisory Committee.
Yeah, Tom.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. So I have one question, well, maybe two questions. One is that LCTV, I know that there's students using there. Is it considered part of our educational platform, and does the school department need to be part of this process?
I'll need to gather more information on that, Tom. I'm not entirely sure whether that's a school and LCTV discussion or a town LCTV discussion.
Okay, because I know I've seen things on TV that are student run, and so as long they may just use it like any other public access sort of outlet, and it may not be a big issue. But if it has to do with any classes, then it would probably be important. And then the other part is, do they, so we get this money from the cable company, so they end up actually paying rent for that space?
I don't believe they do, but I will need to gather some more information on that as well. But that would also be part of the conversation, not necessarily rent, but that there's an agreement for the use of the space, because they are a separate entity. They're not a municipal entity. So there should be some sort of lease agreement for the use of that space.
Yeah. because I know that, they play an important role to the community in terms of dispersing information and keeping people informed. And, we wouldn't want to lose that, that part of what they offer the town is very important. But if you could check into those things, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely not. They're a vital resource to the town, but we just need to make sure that we're doing everything the way that we need to be doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions for that? Alrighty then, I guess I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Mike, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Strange,
Yes.
Mr. Morantz,
Yes.
Mr. Levine,
Yes.
Mr. Gold,
Yes.
Mr. Lakusa.
yes.
Very good. I wanted to wish all my fellow select board members and Lynn and Mike a happy Thanksgiving, and everybody watching. Hope everybody has a happy and healthy and safe Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Mark. You too.
Thank you as well. If I may, I'm just gonna need everyone to either come in and sign either by the end of today or tomorrow, the agreement, or on the other hand, we also adopted the electronic signature clause last April, so we are still able to use that as well. So whatever your preference may be to sign the document to send off would work with me.
What time will your office be open tomorrow, Michael?
We'll be closing at 1, but I can make myself available.
No, that's fine.
I can stop by before then too.
Yeah, I can get by tomorrow a little after.
I'm here until 4:30 today as well. So
I'll come this afternoon about 2 o'clock, Mike.
okay, thank you.
All right. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
You as well. Thank you.
Yeah.